There are nights when silence leans close enough to hear my heartbeat, and I think it must be whispering your name. The palace sleeps, but my soul does not. It wanders the gardens of memory where you once walked, tracing the soft echo of your laughter against the marble walls. The moon pours itself over my window like a vow too tender to speak aloud, and I close my eyes, letting the thought of you become my prayer. I imagine your hand brushing mine again, that quiet collision of worlds that changed everything. My crown feels heavier in your absence, not because of duty, but because the weight of longing has found a home there. I try to breathe without remembering you, but air itself feels incomplete when you are gone. How cruel and beautiful it is to love someone I can never name in daylight, yet here, in the gentleness of night, I can finally admit it to the stars, to the shadows, to the trembling truth that my heart belongs where your heartbeat begins. Every thought, every sigh, every unseen tear is a confession written in silence. You are the only rebellion I will never regret. I still remember how the first glance between us felt, like a secret being born. It wasn't grand or staged, not gilded like the ceremonies of my life. It was quieter than breath, yet it thundered through me with the strength of fate. The way your eyes met mine, unafraid, unbowed, unbroken, it was as though the world had stopped just long enough to let our souls recognize each other. I remember thinking that love must be something divine, something the heavens sculpt carefully, because it felt too perfect, too destined to be accident. Since then, I have walked through days that shimmer with protocol and perfection, yet none hold the wild, trembling truth of that moment. I try to forget, but forgetting is not my gift. Memory has become my devotion. When I speak in council, when I smile for the nation, I am thinking of you, quietly, fiercely, eternally. You are the heartbeat beneath the calm, the pulse that keeps my royal composure from turning to stone. The world does not understand what it means to love in silence. They see my grace, my posture, my speeches, but they never see the trembling beneath my gloves. Every word I utter in public hides another unsaid, one that begins and ends with you. You are the ghost of every promise I was never allowed to make. Sometimes, when I walk through the grand corridors, I catch my reflection in the mirrors and imagine you standing behind me, the one who knows, the girl behind the crown. I ache to tell you that your name is the rhythm that steadies my steps when I am afraid, that your memory is my armor when duty feels too heavy. I live between expectation and yearning, between what is seen and what is sacred. The world demands I belong to history, but my heart belongs to you. I write your name in the margins of my thoughts and pray no one reads them, for they would see how my loyalty has already been claimed, not by my lineage, but by your love. Sometimes I walk through the royal gardens and pretend the wind is you, brushing against me with invisible tenderness. The roses bloom as though they, too, have been touched by your gaze. Even the fountains seem to murmur softly, telling the story of us, unwritten, unspoken, yet alive. I kneel beside the lilies, dipping my fingers in the water, and wonder if you still think of me when the world grows quiet. Does your heart still turn toward mine when dusk deepens? I imagine your hands holding the air I exhale, your eyes tracing the horizon as though searching for the outline of my shadow. Love is a strange empire. It conquers without armies, rules without crowns. I am both its captive and its queen. Every night, when the moon rises, I let it find me, unguarded, my heart uncloaked. I whisper your name to it, knowing it will carry it across the skies until it finds you. Perhaps then, when our shadows meet beneath the same light, the distance will seem a little less cruel. I never learned how to stop loving you only how to hide it. Each day I perfect the art of restraint. I smile where I wish to weep. I nod when I long to run to you. My words are polished like pearls, but they bruise me from within. If anyone looked closely, they would see how the quiet between my sentences trembles with longing. You are my undone truth, my forbidden prayer, and yet I would choose this ache over any peace without you. My heart carries your memory like a relic, something holy, untouchable, but always near. Sometimes I wake before dawn, when even the guards are asleep, and I watch the light crawl over the marble floors. It reminds me of you, slow, tender, unstoppable. I wonder if love like ours was ever meant to be easy, or if its beauty lies in its impossibility. Maybe we are not meant to meet in daylight. Maybe we exist best in shadow, where love can breathe without witness, where our souls can touch without fear of being torn apart by the world's gaze. Your absence has become a language I have learned to speak fluently. Every corner of this palace echoes your name in ways only I can hear. The tapestries seem to ripple with your laughter, and even the silence after prayer carries your warmth. I sometimes sit at my writing desk and write letters I will never send, my ink spilling every truth my lips dare not speak. I tell you about my days, about the golden cages I wear gracefully, about how my heart still stirs at the thought of you walking under the same sun. I imagine you out there, alive in the world, unaware that someone in a distant palace still builds a kingdom of thoughts around you. If I could, I would trade every jewel, every ceremony, every applause for 1 hour of your touch. But perhaps love's truest form is sacrifice, and so I remain, a keeper of our secret, a sovereign of longing. When our shadows kiss in memory, it feels more real than the world I rule by daylight. There are moments when I see you in strangers, a tilt of the head, a familiar cadence in a voice, and suddenly the years dissolve. My heart races, as if summoned back to that first touch, that first glance that rewrote destiny. But it is never you, and I am left standing in the echo of almost. Still, I find beauty in that ache. It means you are alive somewhere, and I am still capable of feeling you without needing proof. Perhaps love was never meant to be possession, but recognition, the soul seeing itself mirrored in another and bowing in awe. You are my reflection in every quiet thing. Even the stars seem to rearrange themselves when I think of you, and when the night deepens, I let it swallow me whole, because in darkness I can imagine you near. I can believe, just for a breath, that your hand still remembers mine, that our shadows still meet somewhere the world cannot reach. I sometimes wonder if love like ours ever dies, or if it simply transforms, becoming light, becoming silence, becoming the invisible thread that ties two hearts across worlds. I feel you in the moments between duties, in the pauses of my breath. The way the air stirs before I speak your name reminds me that you still live within me, unbroken, unforgotten. The thought of you softens even the harshest day. You are the quiet defiance I carry beneath my crown, the proof that I am still human beneath the perfection expected of me. I would rather live haunted by your absence than untouched by your love. And when I stand before the mirror at night,